Life here is amazing.
Do you feel at home here? Richard is an Italian trader who decided to relocate his tax residency to Paraguay to enjoy the benefits it provides on capital gains.
I think the values of these countries are good.
After spending many years in Brazil and China, now it looks like every day he's in a different country.
Paraguay can offer a really good lifestyle.
Did you feel safe here?
After applying successfully for a cedula, I've asked him to elaborate on how he will handle his newfound tax freedom.
Paraguay will become the new Singapore of South America.
Guys, we're here with Richard, Italian by birth, Brazilian by wedding, Chinese by adoption. And we're gonna talk a little bit about his experience, why he decided to come here, and what are his thoughts about Paraguay after being here for like a week.
Yeah.
All right. Richard, just to get started, tell me, what do you do in your life?
Hi Alessandro, nice to meet you. Very happy to be here. Good intention and really good experience in Paraguay. I was living in Brazil for a really long time, left South America for Asia and Oceania, but now come back in South America because I really think that in South America right now, especially in Paraguay, because South America right now I think it's in a bit of a thunderstorm about politics, and Paraguay in this mess that it's happening in the war, I think it's becoming to be really stable. And I hope we'll be talking about politics maybe as well, and the stability that Paraguay can offer in the next years. But yeah, I'm really surprised about Paraguay. I want to start building there, and then I meeting Alessandro a few months ago and start talking about the Paraguayan residency and Paraguayan tax residency, of course, because during the process of being a business owner and entrepreneur, you have to always search for the less risk option. You have to always avoid failure, even that failure is good for us, you always learn in life.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you always have to search for the less risky option about your tax residency.
Amazing. You mentioned that you're a business owner. What is your business about?
We used to have an info business. We used to run a really big community in Italy, especially Italian market. 95% of our public is in Italy. We used to put people in the right way to look at the market, financial market. So we are in financial market, forex market, especially crypto market as well. We have a little fintech that do software for companies that try to enter in the blockchain space. So yeah, it's been like years and years, 7 years in the market.
Nice.
We are not doing info business anymore. We are focusing on trading, just trading, and help the clients find the right strategy for their funds to really being in a secure place and with good strategies and following the right trends of the market. So yeah, we are in the blockchain space right now. But yeah, always looking forward to getting better and to understand this kind of market that is changing very, very, very fast.
Amazing. And on that note, where does Paraguayan residency fit in your personal strategy?
My personal strategy, after I left Brazil, really, really long time ago, I started traveling a lot the world, every part of the world, so I'm feeling in that kind of moment, I didn't really want to have a really fixed residence. So of course I was feeling like, why I'm paying really high taxes to not living in the country that I'm paying taxes, and of course enjoy the service of my taxes can provide me. So I was start kind of looking off a country like Paraguay, of course. I was looking at Singapore, I was looking at Hong Kong as well for my personal interest that it's 0% on capital gain. So if I take a big risk on the market and I of course gain from the risk that I take, I need to live in a place that it can be offer me 0% or at least favorable percentage of tax on my capital gain.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I think Paraguay right now in South America, of course, is the best choice. In the world, is the best choice. Maybe for the processing times and for the opportunity that can give you by obtain a residence in such a short period of time. And all, of course, the benefit that in the future can bring to you, such as citizen or passports or open company there, and the stability, as we were talking about.
Amazing. You mentioned that you were living in Brazil. I mean, you have been living a little bit all around the world. Do you want to give us a little bit of a breakdown about your history and like how your life took you to different places?
Yeah. So when I arrived in Brazil, but first of all, I married with a Brazilian woman. We stayed married together for 6 years. I used to work for a really good Brazilian family. Maybe you know the Global family of television. Really big group. So I work in restaurants, and I used to be the food and beverage manager of their companies in Rio de Janeiro and Paraty, Ubatuba. So I used to work for them. And then I entered financial market in 2019, of course, searching for the real financial freedom that everybody was telling about. 2018, I entered financial market, of course, causing thanks for the booming of the market that was in that time. Really good time to enter the market 7 years ago. Still good time because I think blockchain has really good fundamentals.
So you were mostly dedicated to crypto and blockchain in the beginning?
Crypto and blockchain market. And of course, I started looking at Forex because the biggest market in volumes are Forex and index and gold and stuff. So kind of if you enter in a market, you have, of course, to look at other kind of markets. So,
and you immediately moved to London for that?
No, I didn't move to London. We have set up the companies in London. I stayed in Brazil. And then start traveling China and all Asia, South Asia, Oceania. I was based in South Africa, but yeah.
This is very interesting because I think a lot of digital nomads and people who are free to travel around the world have always that choice between Southeast Asia and Latin America. It's kind of that big, let's say, comparison that they always make. What is your stand about life in Southeast Asia and life in South America? I mean, you have a lot of experience in both.
I think I will live in South America. I lived in South America. I will live in South America again. I lived in Asia and I will live in Asia again. I will not live, for example, in some part of Europe and in some part of North America, because the real problem there is you are a number. United States, you are a number. You are not a soul. You are not a really valuable person that, you know, in Asia, you matter. In Asia, you make the difference in the life of the person. You know, they match you, they speak with you, and they invite you, and they welcome you in their country because they know you are worth. You are worth, of course, in US, but in US, they have a completely different mentality. And I'm talking about Europe as well. Thinking Europe is getting way lower in terms of quality of life because, of course, people making difference of entering nations as expats, for example. It's very difficult to feel at home in Europe as an expat from South America, for example. And so, yeah, my stance on Asia and South America is life here is amazing because people care at you. People will look forward to you. Little country because Paraguay is not so big, but in a really little country, a lot of things are happening. A lot of people are moving there. So,
what is your opinion on the direction that the country is going?
5 minutes ago, we were talking about real estate with Alessandro as well. There's a good projection about the market, of course. The financial stability and the political stability will attract a lot of people, especially from South America. People from Brazil will looking forward to go to Paraguay because, of course, of the tax exemption for some kind of market, but as well of the opportunity that it can be generated in really specifically sector. For example, energy sector are really interesting there. Paraguay will grow a lot. Real estate as well. Talking with Alessandro, the expectations are really high. People from Argentina tired from socialism and really bad time in politics. They are moving to Paraguay. They are moving to other countries where at least financially they are stable, you know. My expression about Paraguay, seeing how many expats and how many people from different kind of part of the world, from Europe, from Australia, there's a lot of people from Australia, a lot of people from Italy, people from US, they are coming there because they are seeing that Paraguay can offer a really good lifestyle. I think the values of these countries are good. The values are still preserved, you know. Family first, religion, family, you know, it's not a country that is not corrupted a lot by the direction that the world is taking right now.
What do you think of the direction that the West, Europe, North America, and so on, is taking instead?
So the problem was the West, of course, they are used to be the greatest. So US used to be the greatest. US, you know, history is written by who win, they say, no? Unfortunately, we look at the last 100 years, in kind of a way that we are looking from who write the history of the last 100 years. So yeah, the direction of the West right now is not anymore the direction that was 100 years ago. So the power, the really big power, the power that built Europe, because the value of Europe is built by United States. So United States built Europe. And right now United States try to, of course, put their pressure and their political power into South America, for example. The US want to dominate South America, but I don't know if US can dominate South America right now, because people of South America doesn't want US as a tyranny of their continent. There's few continents that save themselves from the US tyranny. In a kind of good way, of course. I'm saying US, it's a really great country, amazing country for business opportunity, but the mentality there is a mentality that is completely different from Paraguayan mentality. Here you are family. In US you are clients.
Yeah.
I know that Alessandro take care really well of their clients that became family, you know? Like me as well, for example.
Was your process good with the
Yeah,
residents?
very good. Everybody, Latin America is good because everybody treats you very well. So yeah, they are famous for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, do you think that as Italians we get a special connection with Latin America because we're more kind of Latinos, and just like the Spanish and the Greeks, you know, kind of the Latinos of Europe? Maybe the south part of South America is more like the Europeans of Latin America. So do you feel at home here?
Everybody will tell, yes, 100%. Everybody will tell they have Italian descendant. Everybody will tell you they have a lot of people from Italy that 100 years ago migrated to Brazil, to Argentina, to Paraguay. Paraguay is a really good mixture, I think. It's a really good mixture because there are people from all around the world. Brazil is really interesting because until you find a real Brazilian, indigenous Brazilian, it will take a long time, because you will find people from descendant of Germany, Italians, French, Netherlands, and Paraguay as well. I think there is a really good mixture, and Paraguayan people are a really good mix of everything in South America.
Is there anything you miss from Italy?
I used to miss what? Nothing. The climate is very good. You know, you can have really good winters there with really good temperature. The food is amazing as well. You have to be open. And you have to try to give opinion on something. You have to try.
Of course.
You cannot give opinion based on something you didn't try. So no, I don't miss nothing. I never miss nothing in South America.
That's great.
We have to build our life in the resources that we have right now. Yeah.
Did you have any doubts about coming to Paraguay?
Doubts about Paraguay? Well, first of all, I grew up in my adult life with the opinion about Paraguay by Brazilian people, because I was living in Brazil. So opinion on Paraguay by Brazilians is that like Paraguay is not so
be honest,
disinvolved. Like the economy is not great. Paraguay, of course, is a country that is not so much developed, but this is the Brazilian way. Brazil maybe will talk better about Argentina and Colombia and other countries.
Let's be honest. The way they talk about Paraguay is they literally claim it's shit. It's the worst shithole a person can find in their life.
But in Brazil, I have to tell the truth, they consume Paraguayan meat. And they say Paraguayan meat, the picanha, the real picanha, they consume is coming from Paraguay and from Argentina. So there is a lot of course, misunderstandings. But yeah, they talk bad about Paraguay. Who talk good about Paraguay is all the neighbor country. Like Peru talk very well about Paraguay. Bolivia as well talk very well about Paraguay. Brazil, no. Brazil don't talk well about Paraguay. But yeah, so my personal opinion coming to Paraguay was like, I am arriving in a country that is not so developed. But then you come there and you see that the country is not being developed. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity you to be here right now in a moment where you can really see with your eyes that Paraguay will grow a lot in the next years. So it's kind of opportunity, I think, seeing the country right now implementing new policies, tax policies, and policies for companies that want to come there. I think China is coming a lot there. I was speaking with a lot of people. They are building a lot, new infrastructure, new companies, new markets coming there. So yeah, it's a not developed country. We'll see in 3 to 4 to 5 years. I think a lot of people, a lot of companies will reallocate it in Paraguay. So I hope we'll stay like that for a few years so I can invest and I can enjoy this moment until Paraguay will become maybe the new Singapore of South America.
Amazing. That's actually a very nice way to put it. I always had the same kind of opinion since I came here. What you cannot see is what it looked like when I came here. I can tell you it's very different. And the landscape of Asunción has changed completely. So
I can imagine.
I already seen like a lot of the transformation that's been undergoing in the last few years. And definitely the momentum just keeps building and building and building. If you just look at the macroeconomics, it's impressive the growth pace at which Paraguay is going. And on that note, I would like to know if after you've been here and seeing things with your own eyes, are you considering maybe spending time or investing in Paraguay?
100%. I will live 3 to 4 months a year in Paraguay. Just 3 to 4 months because other months I want to live in New Zealand and South Africa and relocate myself to other countries as well. But yeah, definitely 3 months a year I will be in Paraguay. Maybe during winter, because during summer they say it's quite hot, but we will love it. But yeah, definitely you can have a really good lifestyle in Paraguay. Maybe in the last years it's been the country that I was in contact with so much foreigner that accept my vision, that accept my opinion on things, because this is the interesting thing. People there accept your opinion. In a lot of other countries, people will snub your opinion, will not take care so much of listening you, because there's listening, ascoltare e sentire, two different
things. To hear
things.
and to listen.
To hear and to listen, you know, I can hear you and it doesn't matter so much to me, and then I can listen to you and understand you and
pay attention.
You know, pay attention. And people here pay attention. This is kind of interesting. Paraguayan, Australians, Italians, people there pay attention to you and want to have real talk with you, real conversation. So I feel kind of well in Paraguay.
You consider
really
investments here as well?
Yeah, 100%.
I know you've been looking for some real estate. The other day when I met you, you had some brochure about some real estate. What did you make of your experience going around and seeing apartments?
That you have to be fast because things are getting sold out there. I was speaking with a few real estate, like, okay, they are building one new tower, 5 weeks, everything gone, everything sold out. They are building new place, new towers, new commercial center, and then it's getting sold out. Of course, we were talking with Alessandro as well a few moments ago. There is a lot of interest from Argentinian people, Brazilian people to, of course, putting their money in some safe place because economy of Brazil is not getting so stronger. Argentina is recovering from a really tough moment. So, of course, if they can invest in something that they know is not gonna get devaluate, they're going to invest. And Paraguay has been the place, from what I understand. So yeah, talking with a lot of real estate experts, they were talking about hundreds of buildings that are being sold out in very such a short time. So real estate is kind of really interesting market there.
That's definitely the case. And since you've spent so much time in Brazil, I want to ask you, did you ever have any safety issues when you were living in Brazil?
Yeah, a really bad safe issue that I understand in talking with people, that will never happen. I'm not talking about propaganda about Paraguay, but everybody that I met in Paraguay say Paraguay is a really safe country. Low crime is very crime rate is very low.
Did you feel safe here?
Very safe. Walking at night, it's something that in city centers of Brazil, in this big center like São Paulo and Rio, I will never do it. After years and years of living there, okay, my opinion is from somebody that has been living there for such a long time. So yeah, if I care about my personal data, maybe on my cell phone, if I care about myself and my safety, if I care about my work, my job, I will pay real attention in Brazil. But here in Paraguay, I feel pretty safe. And everybody who I was talking with, they recommend living in kind of a way that you don't have to pay attention to everything, because this is very stressful, you know?
Yeah, always checking your corners.
When you have to have 4 eyes, 2 in front and 2 in the back. Yeah. So yeah, in Paraguay, you just need 2 eyes.
Especially for the cars, because
yeah.
About safety in Paraguay, I always have the line, it's like, are you gonna get robbed? No. Kidnap it? No. But crossing the street can be a fatal experience. Right?
Crossing the street, especially with the stones in it, it can be fatal.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's the only issue you're gonna have.
Yeah, beware of the streets. That's it.
Yeah.
When I go back at home, we generally cross a park after dark.
Okay.
And the park has that reputation in Italy, of course, of being the place where everything bad happens, right? All the drug dealers are there, all the kind of shady things generally happen in these public parks. And I cross this public park at night every single day, and I'm like, wow, this is so different, you know? We got all these illegal immigrants selling drugs generally, in any park in Italy. Even if you go in the park in the best area of any city, you're gonna find a lot of illegal immigrant drug dealers and people that look extremely sketchy, guys that are catcalling on women and stuff. It's no one sane of their mind, unless they're going to do something sketchy, is gonna cross a park at night after dark. And when I cross it here, I'm like, what? Still it hits me. After so many years here, it still hits me how I can cross parks after dark.
And I think it's good because Paraguay is attracting good people, you know? When you make good policies, you attract good people, you attract good business owners, entrepreneurs, people from all around the world that are not coming there to be maintained by the government, because the government will not give you nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, in Europe, it's really frustrating because we are, getting new policies every day, not giving benefit to the people that really work every single day. We are giving benefit to people that search in future, but not the best way to search in future. People will come to Paraguay to search new future, to build in Paraguay and, of course, all around the world, but in a kind of good way, bringing value. People are bringing value to the country.
How many people did you meet here? Foreigners?
I don't know, maybe 50 to 60 to 70. Just the other day we were drinking coffee with Alessandro and a lot of people from France, Australia, and people from the US. Really smart people that are living in China, they live in the US, in Canada, that are understanding that their country are pushing themselves out. That is the problem. Every country in Europe right now is pushing their citizens out of the country, unless they are submitting to crazy laws. Like Marcus Aurelius say, the closer we are to the collapse of an empire, the crazier the laws are. And we are seeing crazy laws around there, and really, it's tough. Not in Paraguay.
And hey, about the different possibilities around the world, since you are in the trading industry, you have also created a lot of content about trading in your life. And there is a new regulation in Dubai also talking about crazy laws, right? Where you cannot be a financial influencer anymore unless you have a degree in finance, which is very hard to obtain in the UAE, because then you have another special set of rules to become an influencer and so on. Did you ever consider Dubai as an alternative to Paraguay?
I never considered Dubai. Never. I have to say the truth. I've been to Paraguay in 2016 when it was not the home of such, interesting financially. When they say, how's your job? I do a lot of things. I'm not a guru. I'm not a financial. I do a lot of things. I manage funds. I trading. We have different companies doing different things. I always try to enter new markets where I'm not used to being. So used to learn every day. I do what I do because I want to learn something different every day. I have a lot to learn from Alessandro. We were having really interesting conversation these days, and I know I can learn a lot from him. And I think this is the key of life, searching always to be near of person that you can learn with, So yeah, never looking about Dubai. But yeah, Dubai is implementing new, really strict rules for the financial market right now, and for people who want to be seen like financial expert. Dubai is getting really restricted for financial market. Europe is getting really restricted for crypto market, especially due the new MiCAR, marketing crypto asset regulation, that now requires you really big license to operate the market, to talk about the market, to recommend financial instrument on the market. So yeah, Europe is restricted, United States is getting restricted, Dubai as well, we were talking about. Which country are not so restricted? Country that want investment, Paraguay want investment. Biggest mining companies are coming there, mining for crypto market, I'm saying. Financial companies are getting there. So Nice. The stance of Marcus Aurelius. The crazy the collapse of the empire, the closer the collapse of the empire is, the crazier the law are.
So you don't see yourself ever going back to Europe steadily?
Never. I don't have any relationship anymore with Europe. I don't feel safe in Europe anymore. As a person, as a business owner, they always try to shame you. That's the problem. That's my opinion. They always try to put you in a way that success is something that if you reach, whatever is your definition of success, because my definition of success can be different from Alessandro's definition, from Alessandro's objective of success. So whatever is your definition of success, for example, in Italy, if you are a successful person, it will seem like you do something wrong.
Yes.
And nobody
they will investigate you immediately.
And nobody will be happy for you if you help people, like Alessandro helping people. A lot of people coming there to Paraguay and establishing Paraguay. Me helping people in different markets in different kind of way, because I know in my life when I go to sleep every day I see and I think I helped in my life a lot of people, and I'm really proud of, I'm really happy of. But my way of success in Europe is not. They don't look good at it.
What would you say to a person that has got doubts about coming to check out Paraguay or to see if it can be the right option for them?
I think you have really few choice right now in the world. Geographically speaking about. If we were talking about quality of life, Paraguay is one of the best that I would recommend in the southern hemisphere. If you want to search for new future and of course want to work for companies, of course Australia is very interesting. New Zealand is very bad right now. Wages are not good, salaries are not good. Australia is very interesting. Africa, it's impossible unless you are a business owner and want to relocate there for really specific reason for the market that you are in. So Africa, I will discard. Asia is really interesting for product market, importing and exporting, really interesting, but it's very difficult. It's a very different market. Try to go to China and make business there. Impossible. We try sometimes, but it's impossible. In Europe right now, it's the laws are different from any other country in the world. Like every country in Europe has different law, but Europe should be a union. So it was created for implementing easy way to do business, to do pet and something. And right now it's becoming very difficult. So you have really few choice in the world if you want to relocate in countries that will offer you opportunity and freedom, first of all. Freedom of travel, passport of Paraguay, I think it's a really interesting option.
Yeah, right now they've just mentioned that it's going to get visa-free to the United States. That's news from 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah, I will not move to US, for example. Central America, maybe El Salvador is growing, but it doesn't have no opportunity for foreigners who want to come there and build there and get a residence there. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I actually checked it up, and it's like a stupid little home is like $500,000 and something like that. It just makes no sense. Like the economy still makes no sense.
For what we are used to in Europe, euro is strong. It's very strong right now. It's the only benefit that we have in Europe, that the euro is strong, of course. I don't know if we can talk about prices and the economy there, houses, but like Paraguay is cheap. I used to earn in Real Brazilian. One of my biggest mistakes in life was having my wealth in Real when the Real 3 years ago getting depreciated 30 to 40 to 50%. So I used to see with my eyes and live my finances the South America. And right now, Paraguay, with $80 to $90 to $100,000, you can buy a really good apartment. Living there, of course, if you want to relocate there and live your life there, or if you want to rent, and things are easy. Easy in such a good way. Easy because you can buy an apartment without not so much headache and problems and bureaucracy. You can get your residence in such a good way because they are open in the country. The country is open to receive foreigner. They are happy. They see you in the streets, they are asking, why are you there? Why are you there? Why are you in Paraguay? So they are happy to see that people that are relocating there. And I really see a lot of future in Asunción.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Really,
Thanks,
really
Richard.
great. Thank you so much.
It's been absolutely a great chat. And,
Thank you so much, Alessandro.
Really. Guys, we will see you in Paraguay, and now we're gonna go and find a nice coffee, I guess.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers. We can walk out this way.
Yeah.
After you, my mates.
Thank you so much.